Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise to bring you the clearest, most fascinating insights from the latest research.
Glad to be diving in.
Today, we're plunging into a topic that might genuinely catch you off guard with its vibrancy: the global digital printer and copier market.
Yeah, it's not what most people expect, I think.
Right. So our mission for this deep dive is really to unpack the latest insights and projections. We're using Global Digital Printer and Copier Market Insights 2021-2033 as our guide here.
A pretty comprehensive source.
Definitely. We want to explore its, well, surprising growth trajectory and what that tells us about broader tech and business trends.
And the headline number is quite something.
It really is.
Yeah.
So here's the headline right away. Contrary to what you might expect, in our increasingly digital world, this market isn't shrinking. It's absolutely booming.
Yeah, booming is the word.
We're talking about a market that pulled in a robust $34.8 billion back in 2021, projected to hit over $42 billion by 2025, and then, get this, a remarkable $61.5 billion by 2033. Yeah, that's a healthy compound annual growth rate, the DGR of nearly 5%, almost 4.853% to be precise.
It's true. The whole paperless office idea, it leads people to assume decline.
Exactly.
But what's really compelling here, and what our source points out, is that the growth isn't just from, printing more standard copies.
So what is driving it then?
Well, the source highlights three core drivers. Evolving demands for document management, which is huge. Advancements in graphic arts, think high-quality visuals, posters, that kind of thing.
Right.
And significant innovation in industrial printing solutions, so really specialized stuff.
So it's shifting. It's not just office printers.
Precisely. It highlights a shift from those basic office functions towards more specialized, higher value, and increasingly integrated applications.
Okay, let's unpack that. Let's dive into where this growth is actually happening globally. Because it's fascinating how different regions are contributing.
Yeah, the regional breakdown is really interesting.
Leading the charge with a truly impressive trajectory is the Asia-Pacific region.
No surprise there, perhaps, given the economic dynamism.
Right. This powerhouse is projected to nearly double its market size by 2033. It's expanding at the fastest regional rate, over 5.4% annually.
5.451% CAGR, yeah, solidifying its lead.
So why APAC specifically? What's the connection there?
Well, connecting this to the bigger picture, Asia-Pacific's leadership makes a lot of sense. You've got rapid digitalization happening across the board and a massively expanding industrial base. So within this region, China is, of course, a huge player, expected to almost double its market by 2033.
Okay, China's big, makes sense.
But what really stands out, I think, is India. Its growth is just explosive. It actually boasts the highest country CAGR globally.
The highest, wow.
Yeah, projected to more than double its market size by 2033. We're talking 6.305% CAGR.
Incredible. Any other key players in APAC?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You've got significant contributions from established markets like South Korea and Japan. They're still growing steadily. And then there are the rapidly growing economies across Southeast Asia. Think Singapore with nearly 6% CAGR, and the broader Southeast Asia region hitting over 6% CAGR too. So it's not just volume, it's dynamic, evolving demand across the board.
That really paints a picture of broad strength there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift focus. What about North America? Still a major player, I assume?
Absolutely. A powerhouse, maybe a steadier giant compared to APAC's explosive growth.
Right. So North America, while its growth rate is a bit lower than APAC's, it's still significant. We're seeing growth to over $15.6 billion by 2033.
That's a 4.225% CAGR. Still very healthy.
And the United States naturally leads this market, projected to command the lion's share, hitting $12.3 billion roughly by 2033.
Makes sense.
And we also see Canada and Mexico showing consistent growth too. Canada around $2 billion, Mexico $1.3 billion by 2033.
Solid numbers across the continent. And then there's Europe.
Europe, right. How does its landscape look?
Similarly robust, actually. Forecasted to reach over $12 billion by 2033. That's growing at about 4.4% annually.
And within Europe, any standouts?
Germany really stands out as a top contributor. It's projected to reach over $2.5 billion by 2033, with a strong CAGR over 5%.
Okay, Germany leading the pack there.
Yeah, followed closely by other major economies like the UK, France, and Italy. Spain's showing decent growth, too. These mature markets are demonstrating continued demand, often driven by those specialized applications we talked about.
And it's interesting, it's not just the big economies driving it. The source highlights some smaller but, steadily progressing European markets, too. Like Luxembourg.
Luxembourg, right.
Going from about $139 million in 2021 to nearly 215 million by 2033.
So, okay, let's unpack this. What does it tell us that even smaller, more mature markets are still seeing growth in this sector?
That's a crucial point, actually.
It seems to fly in the face of that paperless idea again.
It really does. It suggests that even in these highly developed economies, the growth isn't about pumping out more standard office print jobs anymore.
Right. Instead, it's about the integration of digital print into specialized, high-value applications or niche sectors. Think about customized packaging or print-on-demand books, bespoke marketing materials.
Things that need that digital flexibility.
Exactly. It really highlights the versatility and the adaptability of modern digital print tech. And speaking of adaptable markets, let's look at South America.
Okay, South America. What's happening there?
We're seeing steady expansion there, a solid annual growth rate over 5%, actually 5.151% CAGR, reaching nearly $3.9 billion by 2033.
And who leads there?
Brazil. Brazil remains the largest market in the region, yeah. Projected over $1.5 billion by 2033. But Argentina and Chile are also contributing significantly. Argentina's got a pretty high CGR, over 5.6%, and Chile's strong too at 5.4%.
Interesting. Okay, moving on. What about the Middle East?
The Middle East is also showing impressive progress. Projections are hitting over $2.2 billion by 2033.
And a growth rate.
Strong, about 5.1% annual growth. Saudi Arabia is leading that charge, projected around $644 million by 2033. And you also see Turkey and the UAE showing robust expansion. The UAE actually has a particularly high CAGR, nearly 5.8%.
Wow, okay. Lots of growth across the board. That leaves Africa.
And finally, yes, rounding out our regional overview, Africa, it's showing promising growth. Revenue increasing from just over $1 billion in 2021 to almost $2 billion by 2033.
So nearly doubling. What's the CAGR?
About 4.4% annually. South Africa contributes significantly to this, expected to reach almost $750 million by 2033. And Nigeria is also playing an important role in the region's digital print evolution.
Okay, so bringing it all together then, it's clear the global digital printer and copier market is, well, it's on a strong, steady upward trajectory, just like our source dates.
Exactly. It's not just surviving in the digital age. It seems to be thriving by adapting.
It really does.
And this is where the real insight comes in, I think. Those driving forces the source mentioned.
The innovations, small business demand, digital transformation.
Right. They're playing out across these diverse regions in really fascinating ways. For instance, in emerging economies that are deep in digital transformation, robust document management solutions become absolutely critical.
That makes sense. Managing the transition.
Exactly. Meanwhile, in the more mature markets like Europe or North America, it's maybe less about basic document management and more about those advanced innovations in graphic arts and specialized industrial printing, things that enable entirely new product creation and customization.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all growth story.
Not at all. It points to a really multifaceted demand rather than just a single trend driving everything.
So if we synthesize this, we've got the U.S., China, Germany dominating in sheer market volume. But then regions like Asia Pacific and South America are showing the highest rates of growth.
That's a good summary.
But okay, stepping back, what does this all mean for you listening? Why should you care about the future of digital printers and copiers in your world? Seems niche, maybe.
Well, I think this raises an important question about how these technologies are evolving way beyond what we traditionally expect, you know?
Go on.
If we connect this growth, especially in industrial and graphics, to the broader economic and tech landscape, it really underscores that the future of this market looks both highly competitive and technologically rich. It's no longer just about printing faster or cheaper. It's about precision, customization, specialization, and crucially, seamless integration into broader digital workflows. And that affects everything from, say, how a custom t-shirt gets printed instantly to how industrial components are rapidly prototyped using print technologies.
That's a much bigger picture than just office copiers.
Exactly. It touches manufacturing, retail, design, logistics, lots of areas.
Okay, so here's a final thought then, building on that. Given this impressive and frankly continued growth we've seen, especially in those industrial printing and graphic arts areas, what new, perhaps surprising applications or even entirely new forms of printed materials might emerge in our increasingly digital world? Where else could this tech pop up?
That's the big question, isn't it? Food for thought.
Definitely something to ponder. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into the really interesting world of the digital printer and copier market. Our mission here is to pull out the key insights, explore how this industry is steadily transforming office productivity, document management, and, well, even commercial printing itself.
It really is a market at a fascinating crossroads. We're aiming to look at the key drivers, the significant challenges, and also some pretty exciting trends that are shaping where it's all headed. Might be more going on than you think.
Okay, let's get into it then. We'll kick off with the driving forces. The first big one is this increasing demand for, well, on-demand and high-quality printing. You know how everyone, businesses, consumers, they want things fast, flexible, and sharp, high resolution. Digital printers are really hitting that nail on the head. They give you precise results without those traditional printing delays. That's a big deal.
It really is.
And what's really insightful, I think, is how it sort of democratized custom physical output. It's not just about printing less anymore, it's printing smarter. Think personalized marketing brochures, custom packaging, specific reports, things that used to be way too expensive or just took too long.
Exactly. It changes how brands can connect.
Totally. Have you ever needed something printed like right now and needed it perfect? That's the niche they fill.
That's a great point about democratization. And building on that, another huge growth factor is the rising use of digital printers and copiers in education and corporate settings. Even with this big push towards, paperless workflows, physical documents, they're still very much around.
Oh, definitely.
For administrative records, critical teaching materials, internal comms. Schools, colleges, government, big companies, they all rely heavily on these multifunctional devices.
Yeah.
Scanning, faxing, printing, archiving. They're, well, indispensable in small offices and large organizations alike. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, how physical documents still hold such a key role when everything else is going digital. Have you seen that persistence in your own experience?
That's a really good question. Yeah, I have. Sometimes, a physical document just cuts through the digital clutter for approvals or brainstorming sessions. It's got a different kind of stickiness, doesn't it, that you don't quite get from a screen.
Exactly.
And speaking of cutting through, the tech advances in efficiency and connectivity, they're really changing what these machines are capable of. Today's digital printers, they aren't just printers anymore. They're smart, integrated.
Right.
We're seeing things like seamless wireless and mobile printing, direct cloud access, so you can print straight from Google Drive or Dropbox, no download needed first.
Yeah, super convenient.
And clever energy-saving designs, too. Features like automatic duplex printing, that's both sides, and toner-saving modes. They're not just eco-friendly, they save businesses real money. These devices are becoming as smart as your phone or laptop, improving the whole experience and cutting those operational costs. Think about how much easier that makes things day to day.
Okay, so those are some powerful drivers.
Okay.
But let's pivot a bit. Let's talk about the challenges, the headwinds this market is facing. A big one, you can't ignore it, is the declining demand for paper-based communication. Digital transformation, paperless initiatives, remote work becoming standard, cloud documents everywhere. It all dampens the need for traditional printing.
Makes sense.
Think about it. Emails, digital dashboards, e-reports, they're rapidly taking over from hard copies, especially in, tech-forward or cost-conscious sectors. It's less about just using less paper. It's more a shift where physical documents are reserved for things needing sort of trust or permanence.
Like contracts.
Right, like legal stuff or certain educational things. Exactly.
Yeah.
While the everyday stuff just lives online. It's kind of polarizing the market, actually, pushing printers towards either high-value specialized jobs or just being a basic utility. Have you noticed that shift yourself? Maybe less paper in your own work or life?
Oh, absolutely. That polarization point is interesting. And for me, another major hurdle, the high costs. Maintenance and those consumables.
Ah, yes, the ink.
Exactly. Digital printers give you speed and quality, sure, but often with really expensive toner or ink cartridges and ongoing maintenance. I mean, anyone who's bought ink recently knows that feeling. For small businesses or just individuals, these recurring costs can really put you off long-term use, especially if you need specialized parts or a technician comes out, it adds up fast. It's a genuine pain point for a lot of people.
It is. And that cost isn't purely financial either. This brings up the growing awareness around environmental issues, e-waste regulations.
Good point. The whole life cycle, producing these printers and cartridges, then disposing of them, it adds significantly to global electronic waste.
So there's this increasing pressure from governments setting stricter standards and from businesses wanting to be greener for hardware that's more durable, easier to repair, more eco-friendly.
Right. Sustainability is huge now.
It is. And that consideration, beyond just the price tag, it might slow down how quickly people buy new machines. It's a
Yeah.
big factor, especially where consumers and companies really prioritize sustainability.
Okay, so challenges are definitely there. But let's shift gears again and look at the exciting stuff, the trends that are really reshaping this space. First up, the move towards multifunctional intelligent devices. All-in-ones.
Mm.
People increasingly want one machine that does it all. Printing, scanning, copying, maybe even faxing still.
Yeah, consolidate. And these aren't basic anymore. They've got advanced features, intuitive touchscreens, app controls, smooth cloud integration. They're perfectly suited for hybrid work, right? Where you need that remote access, but also some central control. Imagine having one of those hub devices in your home office setup. Super convenient.
Definitely.
Huh.
And linking that to business strategy, another big emerging trend is managed print services, MPS.
MPS. Heard a lot about that.
Yeah, more and more organizations are basically outsourcing their whole print setup. They hire an MPS provider who handles everything, the machines, the ink, the paper, the maintenance, the support.
It takes it off their hands.
Exactly. And the benefits are pretty clear. Better security, lower operating costs usually, and much smoother document management overall. It's especially attractive for medium to large companies looking to scale efficiently and just streamline that whole complex print environment. It's part of that broader trend of optimizing operations by using specialists.
Makes sense. And finally, something really dynamic. The expansion into digital label and packaging printing.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
It's driven by us, by consumers. We want personalized stuff, visually cool packaging, especially with all the e-commerce.
Totally.
Digital printing offers super fast, flexible ways to do short runs of high-quality packaging. This opens up huge new doors for manufacturers, for service providers. Just think about your own online shopping. How many unique or personalized packages have you seen lately? Digital printing is making that happen, making it scalable. So, wrapping things up, where does this leave us?
The big picture is that the digital printer and copier market is truly at a crossroads. It's navigating this really interesting mix of innovation and transformation.
Absolutely. You've got smart office integration, cost pressures, sustainability demands, changing customer needs, all pushing and pulling. But the outlook suggests continued growth, continued evolution. It's fundamentally reinventing how we print, copy, and communicate with physical media.
So here's something to think about. As this technology keeps pushing forward, what new uses might we see? Beyond just paper, think personalized items, maybe even interactive materials. What could digital printing enable in our daily lives next?